Everybody knows that a well-tuned saw can make most saw blades cut smooth as silk. The trick is getting your saw tuned. The patented Woodpecker saw gauge makes that process simpler and easier than ever. It's the first saw gauge that doesn't require any assembly, setup, or calibration. It's also the only saw gauge that automatically tracks the exact center of your miter channel, regardless of its width or condition. How does it do that? Simpler than you might think. By straddling a pair of smaller precision pins with a larger machine cradle pin, which creates the perfect mechanism for finding the center of your miter slot. Watch how easy it is to use the saw gauge to check how parallel our saw blade is to the miter slot. Even variations as small as 1/1000th of an inch can be easily measured and adjusted for by repositioning the trunnion underneath the table or adjusting the saw top itself. What about the rip fence? The saw gauge tackles that job just as fast. With the blade lowered, bring the rip fence into range of the gauge. You can easily check how parallel the fence is to the miter slot as well. All wood is not the same. Ripping solid wood versus plywood often requires a different fence alignment. For the cleanest tear-out free cuts in plywood, set your fence exactly parallel to the miter channel. For solid wood, you may want to kick out the outfeed end a few thousandths. Now that you can make these measurements in mere seconds, why not? And finally, if after everything your saw still doesn't cut smoothly, you may have a bent arbor. Just like with your blade and fence, the saw gauge can measure that as well. Like all Woodpecker brand tools, the saw gauge is made right here in the USA.
This system will allow you to make 11 unique joints quickly and easily. 4 template sets are included with the joinery system: the heart shape, the half-blind dovetail, the through dovetail, and the key joint. 7 additional template sets are also available for the precision joinery system in very unique shapes. The system comes with everything you need to get started except for lumber. It includes the router bits, the bushing guides, the template sets, as well as a setup block, toggle clamps, and jig system. The most common use for the fast joint precision joinery system is making a half-blind joint.
The Kreg Bench Clamp Base makes it possible to use the power and convenience of Kreg bench clamps on any work surface, so you can create a versatile clamping station almost anywhere. The Bench Clamp Base is a perfect companion to the Kreg Mobile Project Center, and it allows you to get more from any work surface that's equipped with 3/4 inch or 20mm bench dog holes. Or you can simply drill a hole on any work surface and easily attach the Bench Clamp Base. Tool-free installation allows you to set up the Bench Clamp Base in seconds. Just slip the anchor bolt through the hole and tighten the locking knob. Slide a Kreg bench clamp into the base and you're all set. And you can move or store away the bench clamp base just as quickly, so it's there when you need it and out of the way when you don't. When installed on your work surface, the bench clamp base can be rotated to any position, so you get 360-degree clamping range. Plus, you get clamping power thanks to the thick aluminum base that can easily withstand the full clamping pressure of the Kreg bench clamp. The bench clamp base works with any Kreg bench clamp, from the earliest versions to the latest bench clamps that are equipped with Kreg's AutoMax auto-adjusting technology. With AutoMax, clamping is fast and foolproof. Just dial in the clamping pressure you need and then squeeze the padded handles. AutoMax technology does the rest, applying the perfect clamping pressure every time on materials up to 3 1/2 inch thick. With the Kreg bench clamp base, you can add clamping capability to your work surface when you need it. And you can easily move the base from one work surface to another, which means you can use the holding power of a Kreg bench clamp where you need it to for all of your do-it-yourself and woodworking tasks. Visit us online at KregTool.com to learn more about the Kreg bench clamp base, as well as our other Kreg clamping solutions that help you complete every project with confidence.
If you love turning but hate the tedious and time-consuming sharpening that goes with it, you need to take a look at Woodpecker's new Ultra Shear turning tools. These revolutionary new turning tools feature razor-sharp replaceable carbide inserts that have been carefully engineered to cut cleaner and last longer than any other carbide insert on the market. Shaping your project with Ultra Shear tools couldn't be simpler. First, adjust your tool rest so the cutting edge is on the center line of your lathe. Keep your tool level with the floor and press into the stock, moving side to side, creating the profile you want. Use the square insert tool for initial roughing and for outside curves or beads. Use the round insert tool for inside curves or coves. The round insert also works great for hollowing bowls. The sharp detail tool inscribes precise lines to accent your work. There's also an optional radius detail tool for fine beads and coves. Now, here's the feature that separates Ultra Shear from all the others. When your project is nearly complete, roll the tool right or left on your tool rest until it's sitting flat on one of the alternate bearing surfaces. Now the cutting insert is on a 45-degree angle to the stock. Make another, lighter cut, still keeping the tool level with the floor. You'll notice the cut is much cleaner, needing little or no sanding. Let's take a closer look at how each component of the Ultra Shear tool comes together to make the best carbide insert turning tool on the market. The tool shank is milled from a special chromoly steel, tough enough to be used for NASCAR roll cages. After machining, the shanks go through a two-stage heat treating process that makes the shaft rigid and smooth, minimizing vibration and making the tool glide easily across your tool rest. And the sides are tapered to prevent interference in your tightest cuts. The seats for each insert are carefully designed to provide full support, bracing the insert with at least 3 points of contact. The tool handles are turned from rock maple with a hand-rubbed oil finish. Aircraft-grade aluminum ferrules support the handle where the tool shank is pressed in, and the end cap protects the handle from splitting and indicates the tool's shape and size. You'll never pull the wrong tool out of the rack. The cutting inserts are formed from a nano-grain carbide, and the materials in the carbide matrix have been carefully blended to make sure the inserts are tough as well as fine-grained. When an edge finally dulls, just loosen the screw and rotate the cutter to a fresh edge. When all edges have been worn, simply replace the insert with a new one. Available everywhere Ultra Shear tools are sold. Plus, each tip is laser engraved with its replacement part number. No need to try and hunt up an old package when it's time for a replacement. Put it all together and you get super clean cuts, straight off the tool that need minimal sanding. Spend more time turning and no time sharpening. And like all Woodpecker's tools, Ultra Shear wood turning tools are precision made in the USA.